What's going on? I'll bet a ton is going on in your world right now. I'll tell you that's my life. So let's talk about how to navigate and grow and survive all the challenges that are taking place inside our organizations right now. So I've got three broad points that I want to make. I wish I could tell you where I heard this quote, but I heard a quote the other day and I've got to say, it stuck with me. And the quote is, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And I think that's a very interesting quote. We are in that moment in time right now where it feels like in just the last 3 to 4 weeks, a crazy amount has happened. A crazy amount has changed. Before I get to my 3 points, I'll say this. I don't enjoy this stuff. I don't enjoy hard conversations. I don't enjoy hard decisions. I don't enjoy answering 5 million questions about navigating challenges. I don't enjoy my teams being stressed. I don't enjoy the people I care about being worried. I don't like any of it. But that's what I signed up for when I got into business. And that's what you signed up for when you got into business. As I think in my head sometimes and probably tell my kids, I don't know if I tell them this, I'm pretty sure I tell them this, you don't get paid the big bucks to live in a world of peace and calm. You get paid, and your team, my leadership team, in whatever businesses I own, they get paid the big dollars or potentially big dollars as they grow their careers to show up every day and have the hard conversations and make the hard decisions and do the right thing for the organization and the team and the client. And it's not easy. There's this general belief that management is easier. Oh, it's easy some days, but when these types of moments happen and when it comes to managing human beings, it ain't easy. It isn't better than sometimes just showing up and being a worker on the team or doing your little thing. It's tough. This is the moment in time where people are made. And what I mean by made is, and the self-talk I have in my head, because I'm dealing with a million things right now, just like you are. The self-talk I have in my head is, this is where all the growth happens. This is where all the stuff happens that allows me, in whatever my next 3, 5, 10 years looks like, lets me show up and be a better version of me, lets me give better advice to people that I'm around that ask for advice. This is the stuff where the advice gets better that I can give. This is the stuff, these moments right now are the things that make me a better leader, a better owner, a better investor, a better everything. When things are smooth selling and you're pocketing tons of money and things are just growing and your investments are all working and everything's golden, what are you really learning? This is when you're learning, when you have to show up and have the crappy conversations, make the hard decisions, that's when you're learning. When you're having to navigate the massive unknowns and you're taking your very best educated guess, that's when you're learning. This is where all the growth happens, right now. This is the big opportunity. And so if you're beat down, frustrated, stressed, worn out, ready to throw in the towel, this is where you're built. Right now. And I've been through a number of these things. You don't build big things and not go through this stuff. I have never in my life been in quite this situation. It's a different situation for every single one of us. None of us have been in this situation before. This is the difference maker for some people. Some people will not navigate this very successfully and they will be mentally destroyed and beat down and it will be too much. And for other people, they will go through this and they won't love it, but they will be much better leaders, owners, managers, whatever on the other side. I am highly encouraging you to live in that camp. All right. So what are the 3 big things you could be thinking about right now? 1, communicate with your clients. How can you be in front of your clients? If you're a big company, how can you have some of your team members in front of your clients? How can you be as active in your client's world as absolutely possible? Your clients are worried, your clients are concerned. How can you show up in their world? Right now, messaging as simple as we are actually open and serving our clients, not a bad message, because a lot of buyers don't know who's open right now, who's not. Like, that's a very elementary message. There's lots of messages of that type. We've got a member, I'm sure many members, but one of our members who's in the academy, like, he created entire messaging for all of his teams so that they could have something in their truck if somebody's questioned them on why are you actually out in the field right now doing work versus hunkered down in your company. So massive communication right now. Now, the problem is that everybody's trying to communicate right now, and a lot of the messages are pretty bland, and everybody's kind of saying about the same thing. So how do you show up in the midst of all that noise? So number one, massive communication with your clients. I'll tell you, this is going to be 4 things now. Massive communication with your team. You're the leader, you set the tone. Do they know what's going on? I do a State of the Union video to my team every single week. Like, what's going on? In that video, I am basically answering, what are we seeing in the business? And I'm being honest. Here are the negatives I'm seeing in the business. Here are the positives I see in the business. Here's what we're doing. Here's the action we're taking. And then what can you be doing personally? That's the gist of it. What's going on in the business? It's reality, which right now tends to be a little bit more on the negative side. How as a company, the leaders of the company, what are we doing? And then what can you be doing? That's the messaging, okay? So communication, both of those 2 things I just said are under the headline of communication. Number 2, in my supposed 3 points, if you know me, if you watch many of my videos, it's very easy for me to turn these into long videos and lots of points. But number 2, where in the world do you put your marketing dollars right now? So a lot of companies make massive cuts during these times, and they cut back on sales, they cut back on marketing, and it's risky. But there's some balance, okay? You got to be careful not to go too in and get your timing off, and basically your marketing doesn't work and you're just throwing away good money. It's very difficult. There's no easy answer here. But what we know is working right now is digital. The conversations are happening on social media. So this is the time to really be thinking about your Facebook marketing, your pay-per-click marketing. I especially think Facebook marketing right now. So what can you be doing when you think about your marketing spend and your budget? It's probably not in print right now. It's more in digital because everybody's living in the digital space. In the social media world, it's extremely powerful right now. That's where all the conversation's happening. So how can you be there? That's point number 2. Point number 3 of the things that you can be doing right now to grow and survive this. Point number 3 is H-2B visa. If you use that, has been a killer this year. Like, totally fell apart on us. So it's highly destructive. So what do you do now? So one good thing is you've got a whole bunch of competitors that are extremely fearful. And so some amount of great people are being put into the marketplace. Not a ton, but some amount. But then you've got other industries. You've got the restaurant industry. So I would make an argument there's a whole lot of people that used to live in our world and do what we do for a living that moved up into the indoor air-conditioned space. Now, I wouldn't exactly say that a lot of kitchens are overly cool and comforting, but there's a whole lot of individuals that graduated, maybe graduate is not the right choice of words, but for many, graduating out of the outdoor services space and that heat or that cold into an interior type job is literally graduating up into something else. There are a lot of individuals that do have experience that have moved into other roles. One example is the restaurant industry. The restaurant industry, as you know, has been destroyed. Lots of people have come back into the marketplace. Maybe they won't be long-term workers in our marketplace, but there is more labor, more capacity in our market right now. Are you getting to them? Are you getting to them through Facebook? Like, what efforts are you making? There are actually more people in the market today to do work for all of us than there were in January, and there were last September, and there were last April. So that's a positive. It's an opportunity, as we are very fortunate in the green industry to still be especially in the maintenance side, generating work, there are people to do this work. So how proactive are you? I would encourage you to be extremely proactive to go get this group, to find those people that are being laid off in other trades to work for you. And again, I'll make the point, maybe they're only with you this year. Maybe they go back to their previous trade later. So be it. You've at least survived and hopefully grown through these challenging times. So this is a time to invest in your business, but to do it very prudently and carefully. And that's my point. So I'll end with this. We are very, very fortunate right now that we're not in the cleaning industry, or we're not in some of these other industries where where you come into the home. That is those are incredibly challenging businesses right now. We're very fortunate. Keep that in mind. I hope that keeps your optimism and hope up and your attitude positive. Now, think about your communication, your marketing, and your recruiting as the 3 vehicles to allow you to, at a minimum, stay flat year over year in your business, and I would hope maybe even grow 2020 over 2019. Good luck.